Have you ever pictured retirement as a time of serene relaxation, long walks, endless books, and quiet moments? The dream often includes slowing down, leaving the daily grind behind, and truly enjoying your golden years. But what if the reality for many, perhaps even for you, is quite different? What if, instead of peace, you found yourself busier than ever, constantly rushing from one commitment to the next, filling every waking hour with activity? It's a common scenario. Isn't it? Many of us step away from a working life only to immediately pack our schedules with volunteering, hobbies, social engagements, family duties, and never-ending projects. We feel this unspoken pressure to stay active, to be productive, to prove that we're still vital and relevant. But here's the surprising truth. The secret no one talks about: what if this very drive to stay perpetually busy after retirement isn't serving you at all? What if it's silently, subtly, but profoundly undermining your health, your happiness, and the very peace you hope to find? In this video, we'll explore several powerful shifts in mindset and daily habits that can transform your retirement from a relentless race back into a true sanctuary of peace, purpose, and vibrant well-being. Make sure you watch until the very end, because I'll share something truly surprising that could completely change how you view your retirement years. Let's dive right into the first crucial shift that can begin to unravel the hidden dangers of an overly busy retirement. For decades, our identities were often tightly woven into the fabric of our work, our careers, our endless to-do lists. We were taught, implicitly and explicitly, that our worth was tied to our productivity, to how much we could accomplish, how busy our calendars looked. Retirement, for many, is the first time in their lives they're truly stepping away from that structure. And what often happens? We unconsciously, almost instinctively, rush to fill that void. We replace the demands of the workplace with an equally demanding, self-imposed schedule of retirement activities. We sign up for every committee, volunteer for every cause, take on all the childcare, book every trip, pursue every hobby with a fervor that would exhaust a younger person. This isn't just about enjoying life. For many, it's a deep-seated, almost primal urge to prove that they're still valuable, still relevant, still doing something. But this relentless pursuit of doing can be as harmful, if not more so, than the 60-hour work weeks we left behind. It prevents true recovery, not just physical, but mental and emotional. It leaves no space for true reflection, for the kind of quiet contemplation that allows us to process our lives, integrate our experiences, and discover who we are beyond our roles and accomplishments. It means we never truly let go of that old, exhausting definition of self-worth. Think about it. When was the last time you had a completely unscheduled, guilt-free afternoon where you did absolutely nothing productive? For many retirees, the answer might be never, or I'd feel guilty doing that. That guilt is a powerful, insidious force that keeps us on the hamster wheel. The actionable step here is to consciously deconstruct this busy is best myth. Start by asking yourself, why am I doing this? Is this activity truly bringing me joy? Or am I doing it out of a sense of obligation, or to prove something to myself or others? Are these activities fueling me or draining me? Learning to say no, even to seemingly good things, is a profound act of self-care. It's about scheduling white space into your calendar, blocks of time with no appointments, no errands, no obligations. This white space isn't empty. It's pregnant with possibility. It's where spontaneity can bloom, where true rest can take root, and where you can simply be. Redefine what productive means in retirement. It doesn't have to mean generating income or achieving outward goals. It can mean cultivating inner peace, nurturing relationships, pursuing a quiet passion, or simply enjoying the beauty of a sunset. The story of Sarah comes to mind. She retired from a demanding teaching career, determined to make the most of her newfound freedom. Within months, her calendar was packed: 3 volunteer positions, 2 book clubs, weekly grandkid duties, and a demanding travel schedule. She told me she was busier than ever, but her voice was laced with exhaustion. She developed nagging aches, struggled with sleep, and often felt irritable. She realized she had replaced one set of obligations with another, and the freedom she dreamed of was nowhere in sight. It was only when she consciously started saying no, even when it felt uncomfortable, and purposefully scheduled do-nothing afternoons, that she began to reclaim her energy and joy. She started spending that white space quietly reading, gardening without a goal, or simply sitting and watching the birds. It was in these quiet moments that she rediscovered a sense of calm and well-being she hadn't felt in years. This leads us to our next crucial point, the silent, systemic toll of chronic overscheduling, even if the activities themselves seem enjoyable. Moving on from the hidden stress of overscheduling, let's explore another vital aspect that busyness can steal from you: your inner world and your creative spirit. When you're constantly rushing from one activity to the next, your mind is perpetually engaged with external demands. There's no room for introspection, for listening to your own quiet thoughts, for nurturing that often dormant creative spark, or for truly connecting with your spiritual self. However you define it, retirement should be a profound time for self-discovery, for exploring those forgotten passions you never had time for, or for simply being with yourself in a way that busyness rarely allows. Think about it. How often do you truly sit in silence, without a screen, without a book, without a project, and just let your thoughts drift for many? This feels uncomfortable or even unproductive, but it's in these quiet moments that clarity emerges, new ideas spark, and a deeper sense of self can blossom. Busyness robs us of this profound opportunity to cultivate our inner landscape. The actionable steps here involve dedicating specific, protected time for quiet hobbies that nurture your soul rather than fill a schedule. This could be anything from journaling, painting, learning a musical instrument, or simply spending time in nature without a specific goal or agenda. Perhaps it's rediscovering the joy of reading a physical book, slowly, without the pressure of finishing it quickly. It could be practicing mindfulness or a simple form of meditation, even just for 10 minutes a day. The key is to create space for your inner world to breathe and grow. I recall a gentleman named Arthur, who, after retiring, felt obligated to join every club and attend every social function. He was always on the go. But inside, he felt a nagging emptiness. He had always wanted to write poetry, a passion he'd abandoned decades ago. When he finally gave himself permission to decline some invitations and dedicate an hour each morning to quiet reflection and writing, he found a profound sense of purpose and joy. He wasn't doing it for an audience or a publication. He was doing it for himself. This shift from external validation to internal fulfillment is transformational. It's about recognizing that true activity in retirement isn't always about outward motion. Sometimes, it's about the deep, enriching work of cultivating your inner life. Building on that, the fourth critical shift is cultivating deep connections over casual engagements. Ironically, being busy can often mean being superficially connected to many people, but lacking the deep, meaningful relationships that truly nourish the soul. When your calendar is packed with group events, brief catch-ups, and rushed outings, there's little time for the kind of vulnerability, sustained presence, and shared history that builds true intimacy. True connection requires time, unrushed, uninterrupted time. It requires you to truly listen, to share, to be present without distractions. Busyness often inhibits this, leaving us feeling socially active but emotionally isolated. We might have a wide network, but a shallow pool of genuine connection. The actionable steps here involve being highly intentional about your social calendar. Instead of automatically accepting every invitation, evaluate which social engagements truly nourish you and which are simply filling time. Prioritize focused, uninterrupted time with your closest loved ones. Whether that's a long conversation over a simple meal with a dear friend, an unhurried afternoon with family, or simply sitting quietly with your partner. It's about quality over quantity. Reconnect purposefully with old friends or family members you've lost touch with, scheduling dedicated time for a real conversation rather than a quick text exchange. Perhaps you could revive the art of the handwritten letter, which forces you to slow down and thoughtfully engage. Consider the story of Eleanor, who, in her first years of retirement, joined multiple bridge clubs, volunteered at the local hospital, and became the social coordinator for her neighborhood. She was constantly surrounded by people, but she confessed to feeling a pervasive loneliness. She rarely had time for deep conversations with her closest friends, and her relationship with her adult children felt rushed and superficial. When she consciously decided to reduce some of her broader social commitments, she freed up time for weekly, unhurried coffee dates with a few trusted friends where they could truly talk, and dedicated a specific evening each week for a relaxed dinner with her children and grandchildren, where the focus was solely on connection, not on the next item on her agenda. She found that having fewer, but much deeper, connections brought her far more joy and fulfillment than her previously packed social calendar ever did. It transformed her loneliness into a sense of belonging and genuine intimacy. This profound shift from broad, superficial busyness to selective, deep connection allows for the kind of relational richness that truly supports well-being in your later years. Finally, let's talk about perhaps the most counterintuitive yet powerful shift: the power of purposeful undoing. In a society that constantly values achievement, productivity, and results, the idea of intentionally doing less, or even doing nothing, can feel profoundly uncomfortable, even rebellious. Yet, true purpose in retirement isn't always about action. Sometimes it's about simply being, reflecting, and enjoying the richness of the present moment without a goal or an agenda. This undoing is a deliberate choice to step off the hamster wheel of perpetual motion and embrace the quiet, profound joy that comes from simply existing. It's allowing for spontaneity to emerge naturally, for inspiration to strike when your mind is truly at rest, rather than constantly stimulated. This is profoundly healing and liberating. It frees you from the pressure to constantly perform or justify your time. The actionable steps for embracing purposeful undoing are surprisingly simple, but require conscious effort. Start by creating a not-to-do list, a list of things you will deliberately choose not to do, even if they seem worthwhile, simply to create space for yourself. Practice the art of savoring simple moments. Truly taste your morning cup of tea. Really notice the colors of a sunset. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. Listen to the birdsong without distraction. Don't rush through these moments. Linger in them. Most importantly, allow for unplanned hours in your day. Don't feel the need to fill every minute. Give yourself permission for moments of idleness, for spontaneous whims, for simply sitting and observing the world around you. Consider the story of David. He retired believing he needed to fill every day with grand adventures and projects. He bought an RV, planned extensive trips, and took on major home renovations. Yet, he often felt exhausted and frustrated, racing against self-imposed deadlines. It wasn't until a minor injury forced him to slow down that he discovered the profound joy of simply sitting on his porch, watching the neighborhood unfold, reading a book without a schedule, or engaging in long, meandering conversations with his wife. He realized that the greatest joy wasn't always in the elaborate plans or the big achievements, but in the unplanned afternoon spent with a grandchild, the quiet contemplation of his garden, or the unexpected laughter with his wife over a simple dinner. He discovered that undoing wasn't about being unproductive. It was about opening himself up to a richer, more present experience of life. This deliberate choice to slow down, to be present, and to embrace moments of stillness is perhaps the most radical act of self-care you can adopt in retirement. It's about letting go of the old paradigm and truly living in alignment with the peace and freedom you've worked so hard to achieve. So, as we bring our conversation to a close, let's remember what we've explored today. We've talked about the quiet dangers of an overly busy retirement, how that constant drive to do can actually diminish your well-being. We've discussed the importance of deconstructing that busy is best myth, recognizing that true worth in retirement comes from within, not from a packed schedule. We've seen how chronic overscheduling can silently erode your health, impacting your sleep, your stress levels, and your overall vitality. We've considered the profound importance of reclaiming your inner world, making space for reflection, creativity, and spiritual growth that gets lost in a flurry of activity. And we've recognized the value of cultivating deep, meaningful connections over a wide array of superficial ones. Finally, we touched upon the radical act of purposeful undoing, of embracing stillness and spontaneity as powerful pathways to joy and peace. Remember, This isn't about becoming idle or doing nothing at all. It's about redefining what a fulfilling retirement truly looks like, shifting from a mindset of constant productivity to one of intentional presence, peace, and purposeful well-being. It's a journey, not a destination. And small changes can make an immense difference to your health and happiness. Give yourself permission to slow down, to say no, to create space in your life, and to truly savor this precious chapter. Your worth is not tied to your productivity or the length of your to-do list. It's inherent in who you are. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you found yourself falling into the too busy trap after retirement? What strategies or mindset shifts have helped you reclaim your peace and purpose? Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Your wisdom could genuinely help others in our community. If this video resonated with you and offered you a new perspective, please give it a thumbs up. It truly helps our channel grow and reach more people who could benefit from this message. And make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future videos designed to help you thrive at every age. You've earned this time, this freedom. Embrace the quiet moments, cherish your true connections, and discover the profound joy that comes from simply being. Live your best life, filled with authentic joy and true well-being. At every age,